Welcome everybody. It's Sunday where we're going to wake the nation up. We're going to get the nation, we're going to get the world moving with today's Fan Doosra. Hi everyone. Welcome to the show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, my name is Tommy. This is Fan Doosra, and it's where we talk about the most exciting cricket league on the planet. And we are brought to you by Rario.com. Rario are your people. Rario are our people. Rario are our friends. They are. They're our friends that allow you to buy NFTs. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They're little bits of cricket history. That shot by that player, that catch by that player, that boundary, that six, that four, that amazing partnership moment, whatever it might be, you can buy those moments in digital history. It's brilliant. This is the brand new thing. This is what NFTs are all about. A lot of people go, huh? So where do I put it up on my wall? You don't. You own it. Huh? So when do I have to wipe it down and make sure it doesn't get dusty? It doesn't. It's an NFT. This is digitally owned. It's a bit like owning a GIF or owning an email or owning a tweet or owning an Instagram post. This is hot, guys, and people are trading them and people are making money out of it. Because if you own an NFT by a player today that's worth this much, in the future, if that player's career goes a different way or gets more exciting, it's like having Muhammad Ali's signature when he was just starting out. And that's what Rario allow you to do. You can own NFTs. Go to Rario.com because we're giving NFTs away. Just go and register your email address, your username, put it in there. It takes 60 seconds. I'll show you how you can do that in a little while. And you can get yourself free NFTs, where the F stands for free. We love free. Okay, today's a double day, so we've got lots to get through. That's why I'm talking very quickly, because we never have enough time. When it's a double game day, we have to whiz through everything. But we've got KKR versus DC to kick things off in just a couple of hours' time. And then later on tonight, Rajasthan Royals versus Lucknow. That's what's going down today. But can we all, guys, I just want to test that your microphones are working. Can we all just say, ah? Can we all say that now?
It's going to sound quite odd on.
No, it's not, Gurkha. Just do as you're told, Gurkha. Do it.
I'm just going to say.
Just
I'm
for that
going to
reason.
say roar macha.
No.
Well, I'm going to say Kor bole aur wo jeet bo.
There you go. No, I need an ah. I tell you what I was going to do. I was going to go, can we all do a little ah for Mumbai Indians? It was a little ah.
And the Chennai Super Kings.
It's a double R. It's like, hey, listen, you guys are all right. Your teams are doing quite good right now. We'll go to Gurkha. What were you going to say? Why is your R going to sound odd?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to do that because I could very well be at the receiving end of it if things don't go well tonight.
Okay.
And you know, I'm not the kind who's there to rub it in. I have to behave. I have to behave like the name that you've given me. A CEO can't, dissing other teams like this. So
no,
yeah,
you're right.
I just say that the fans of Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings have my sympathies, because as a Delhi Capitals fans, I've been there far more many times than what MI or CSK fans have been. So trust me, I understand what they go through, but it's a phase.
Yeah.
There are happy days in sport and there are sad days on sport. And the thing about sad days in sport is that they make the happy days even more joyful and even more enjoy-worthy. So
you know what you sound like right now?
Yeah.
You sound like that girl that the girl goes to when she's broken up, and she goes, "Oh my God, he broke my heart again." he's and you're like, "Hey, listen, babes, I've been through it. I understand." And what you got to realize is, happy days around the corner. You just got to be strong. Here, have some ice cream.
Yeah, I'll just lay a little secret here. Like, if someone's complaining to me about you, I tell them the same thing, that it's okay. Tommy's good at heart. You don't have to take the stuff that he takes very seriously. He's a good gentleman at heart. And hopefully, if your wife ever comes and complains to me about you, I'll tell her the same thing. Don't worry.
I'm surprised she hasn't already. She's got many reasons to complain.
Yeah, that's because I'm not staying in London. Once I do, I'm sure she'll reach out.
She better complain. Otherwise, the next show I'll be doing will be called Voti Dusri. Yeah, don't make me have to do that one. Fan Doosra is the other show. Okay, let's get back to the cricket. Thank you, though. Thank you, everyone. It's going to be a good one. Hello to Abhijit. Hello to all the people messaging already. Who's a big fan as well. Big fan of Nikhil as well. I would say. Nikhil's big fan. Abhijit is. Is that just you, Abhijit, with a different character? You got big fans, Nikhil. Is he frozen? Is he there? Nikhil, it's all right. You can say hello to your fans.
Hi everyone.
There you go. There you go. Right. Let's start with you, Nikhil, because it's KKR. KKR sitting at the top of the table. What's it like up there, Kolkata? What's it like at the top of the table? We can't see you. What's it like right now?
It's pretty amazing over here, and we want to stay here throughout the season and lift the trophy eventually. And what we witnessed last match was a complete carnage by Cummins. Like, as a KKR fan, even I did not expect what was to come, but it was something overwhelming and amazing.
Yeah. What was it about his shot play? I mean, let's get into it. Let's get into the actual play because it was, I mean, everyone's raving about it. It was beautiful to watch. It was exciting to watch. I'm always here, and I say this genuinely, you know, we are all here as lovers of the game, number one. But to watch that individual performance by him, anyone, anywhere, any lover of cricket would go, that was just great to see. But what did you see in his play, Nikhil, specifically?
Well, specifically, what I see was the aggression and the intent that he showed. After Russell got out, we were in a bit of worry as to what will happen next. But Pat Cummins came out and played his natural game because he himself told in the post-match presentation that if he went to think and play, he could have been in a bit of worry as to what shots to play. So he tried to hit all the balls for boundaries, and as a result, he scored the fastest 50 at par with KL Rahul.
So, what does this tell you about his style of play? Actually, Abhijit said something similar to what I was going to say. Abhijit saying, do you consider Pat Cummins as a batting all-rounder or a bowling all-rounder, given his stats in T20?
Well,
I think
I would consider him a perfect all-rounder because his exceptional play was on display last match, and as a bowler, he's quite experienced as well. Although he leaked runs last match, but yeah, he just needs a game or two to come back into rhythm, and be an even more fulfilling match winner for the KKR.
Okay. Gurgurt, what were you going to add to that?
I'll still say that he's a bowling all rounder because the 14 ball 50 is a one off. It's a one off even for great batters. Forget Pat Cummins. That is not going to be the norm. The reason why I say that he's going to be a bowling all rounder because his main role is to give wickets in the power play. I don't think that he's a top tier T20 bowler yet because he struggles in the death. However, he's a good addition because he gives you runs with the bat lower down the order. And there's a question by Amanda where she's asking that do you think they are going to promote him up the order? I don't think it's going to happen because he struggles against spin bowling. So if he's promoted up the order where spinners are in operation from over 7 to 15, he's going to struggle. And yeah, the 14 ball 50 can't be a norm. I think what is going to be a norm on best days from Pat Cummins is a 20 ball 30. I think if we can do that consistently for KKR, with the top six adding around 130 140 runs, then those 30 runs add a lot of value at the death in the 15-20 balls that he will face. So along with him and Narayan, KKR do have the batting depth, but they have to be smart in terms of using it.
Okay. So what have Delhi got to put up against that then? Because like you are playing an informed team here at the moment. What goes through your mind now, Gurkir?
See, credit to KKR for winning 3 matches so far, but you can't deny that they've had the luck of the toss going their way. So toss will definitely hold a lot of value. I think what Delhi could look to do today is probably drop one of the spinners and play someone like Khalil Ahmed as well, especially where they are playing. If you look at the pitch, I think they are playing in wrong, or are they playing in Pune?
Oh, who can?
Regardless,
where they're playing, Nikhil?
I think
Brabon.
Yeah, so if they're playing in Brabant, there's pace and bounce. So exploit that by playing Khalil. And also what's important to notice that if you look at the KKR, right? If you look at Venkatesh Iyer, Ajinkya, Shreyas Iyer, Nitish Rana, all these top four do struggle against pace far more as opposed to spin. So if you can drop one of the spinners and play someone like Khalil, who was doing well in the first two matches, maybe there's a chance that Delhi can restrict the scoring a little more. Although I don't see that happening because Kuldeep has done really well in the three matches that he's played, and he would also like to have a point to prove to his former franchise that they didn't play him for the last two seasons. Though I think there was good enough reason for them to not play him. And Akshar, you have so it's hard to see them one of the spinners the party because Nokia was completely off color in the last match. Hopefully he'll do better. Then I think even if KKR are batting first, Delhi will be able to restrict them to a chaseable score. And if Delhi are batting first, then the onus definitely lies on someone like Warner. And if Marsh is playing today, on him along with Pant.
Okay, let's have a look at the head-to-head stats here. This is when DC have gone up against KKR in the past. 16-12, 3-2 over the last 5. So KKR sort of just edging it. That despite where you are in the table now, Nikhil, that must make you kind of go, actually, this is a solid side that you're playing with DC, a side with a lot of experience. You can't go into this kind of too confident. You can't go into this knowing the win's definitely yours.
Of course, KKR is a team which takes one game at a time. We win, we celebrate, and we forget it the next day and we march on to the next one. So every game is competent enough for us, and we give all our hearts and all our hard work into it, so that it results in a win for our next match. And as it's a day game, the due factor is not going to come into play. So yeah, the team who plays better today will win.
Well, Gurkir, you said something quite different. You said the due factor would play a part, and the toss winning does play a part. So
no, I didn't mention the due. I mentioned that the pace and bounce of the pitch will play a part. However, I do feel that regardless of the form, if you go player by player, man to man, I do think that Delhi are a better side because they still have death bowling covered better than what KKR do, and then they have the batting depth as well. With someone like Akshar coming in at 8, it's just a matter of the players clicking. If they do click, then I do think that Delhi can come on top. But it's going to be a good game. Toss is crucial in T20 format because chasing is definitely easier than batting first because you know what you're chasing. We have seen in this IPL as well when teams are batting first, sometimes either going too hard that process, they are losing a few wickets up front, or if they are going too conservatively, then they are ending up with a total which is under par, which makes it difficult for them to defend. So toss anyway remains an advantage regardless of the fact there is due or no due. But I think it's time that the heavyweights of Delhi come to the party, because if they don't come to the party today, then in a 10-team IPL, coming back from a 1-3 kind of a record after first 4 matches is going to be difficult. It's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it might make it you'll take the edge off it if they get this win under the belt. Dinesh, I'm just going to ask you, because obviously you're a neutral in their kind of battle at the moment between KKR and DC. Out of the two young captains, Rishabh Pant versus Shreyas Iyer, who would you want to be leading you?
Shreyas Iyer for me, because Shreyas Iyer is someone who is actually leading a team that has got almost all the same players that they have got in the previous years. Say it can be Pat Cummins or someone like Sunil Narine. I mean, what I'm saying is, Kolkata Knight Riders are a team that has got the same combination, a similar combination, except for the fact that Owen Morgan has been replaced by a young Shreyas Iyer. So they have made sure that the combination is not going to be a problem. Rather than it's going to be a skipper who's going to lead from the top. And I see Shreyas Iyer. He has been a good leader so far for the Kolkata Knight Riders, and hopefully, I would like to see Shreyas Iyer winning today. But nothing against Rishabh Pant. Yeah, I would be happy even if I see Rishabh Pant winning today's match, because he is going to be a prospect for Team India when it comes to leadership in the years to come. So, be it Rishabh Pant or Shreyas, I would be happily watching them win in today's game, because they are going to be the potential captains for India in the days to come.
Okay, you're like grandma. Grandma saying they're both my bache. They're both my bache. I love them both equally. Let's do for both of you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
everyone's
that's
Supriya,
what neutral fans do, to stand neutral.
Yeah,
that's what neutral fans do. Yeah.
That's all right. You can do that today. And Supriya, welcome to the show, by the way. Welcome to Fan Doosra. First time ever, right, for you?
Yeah, hello, hi. Yeah.
Oh,
So for me,
yeah.
yeah, so I was saying that I would want KKR to win. I was like fan, but like all like they've converted fans from some other team. So I used to support KKR now, and in fact, Abhijit had also Supriya or LSG. Between DC and KKR, I would want KKR to win. And Shreyas Iyer thing is when in DC also, like I think I'm pretty well. And like Rishabh Pant, he came midway, and like the team was settled and everything. So I think as a captain, Shreyas Iyer is. So I would say, KKR. The first match I want KKR to win, and second.
I have something to add on the captaincy bit.
Yeah, go for it.
I think there is no obvious difference between when you compare captaincy of Shreyas, Rishabh, or KL Rahul. I genuinely don't see any difference with regards to DC. Whether it was Shreyas Iyer being the captain or Rishabh Pant being the captain, the brand of cricket that they were playing was pretty much the same. Which the decisions were being taken outside the playing 11. It was probably the coach running the show. So in that regard, there's hardly anything to take home with regards to who was the better captain or who was the worst captain, or were they even captaining with their own ideas. So that is number one. I'd say pretty much the same for someone like KL Rahul as well, because it felt like it was Anil Kumble running the show. And even now, if you see the kind of setup that is there with Andy Flower and Gautam Gambhir being there, who are themselves quite strong personalities. I'm really not sure if it is actually KL Rahul who's running the show or who's being the captain. So I think a lot of captaincy debate is just reduced to the analysis in hindsight and with regards to results, when the captains really can't control the result, because captain only makes 9% of the team and 4.5% of the 22 players that are playing on the pitch. So just judging captaincy on the basis of result, I think is never the right metric. So as or there is any difference between Shreyas, Pant or KL Rahul with regards to captaincy.
But can I play devil's advocate there, Gurgura? Just at that point, it's a bit like me on the dance floor. At a dance floor at a wedding, I'm just one man, but I will make me feel like 10 men. I'll feel like a Bhangra outfit. I'll feel like a troop, a whole group of people, because I bust my moves. Is it not down to the captain to give it all he's got when he is the captain?
How do you judge? My question
that.
is, how do you judge a captain giving it his all? Because there are some captains who are naturally far more expressive, and there are some captains who are far more sedate. That doesn't give you any idea about their tactics. Virat Kohli is a far more expressive captain than any other captains out there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's an aggressive captain through his tactics. If you actually see his captaincy in test matches or white ball, he's a far more pragmatic and maybe even at times a defensive captain. I think we just confuse the personalities of the individuals as an extension of the tactics they are playing with. We just don't study the tactics enough. So you can be all expressive as you want, or you can be completely sedate. It has nothing to do with your captaincy, because captaincy by and large in amongst the larger public is just treated on the basis of results, when it shouldn't be treated like that. And it's got nothing to do with the captain's personality. It's mostly got to do with the tactics that they are putting in front and the percentages. Is the captain increasing the percentages of his side winning the match, or is he decreasing the percentage of his side winning the match? That is something that we need to see, and there are plenty examples of that. Anyone could have captained that Australian women's team which won the Women's World Cup, and it would have made absolutely no difference, because that's a side which is probably the most dominant side ever in world cricket, including the men's cricket. So we need to be quite pragmatic when it comes to discussing who's a better captain and not just go by results.
No, you're absolutely right. That words of a true CEO there. Do you know what I mean? He's like saying it's not about who's managing my shop. It's about the policies that they're implementing. I don't care about the character. I don't, or even just the sales results. It's like what policies are in place. What does that captain really bring to each individual game training session. Bhangra challenge between me and Tommy, says a Rajasthan Royals fan. Let's go. You better be ready. I'm warmed up. I'm always Bhangra ready. Who is your Rario player of the day? Nikhil, who do you think is going to shine for KKR today?
Well, it's gonna be Venkatesh Iyer. He has not been in that good match this season, but yeah, the last match showed, how he anchored and he was stable at one end. So yeah, he is going to be my radio player to watch out for.
Okay, Iyer, always solid, always good to watch. Looking forward to that. And for you, Gurkrit, who's your player for Delhi?
I'd say David Warner is someone who you'd like to watch out for and hope he puts in a good show, because it's been a long time that he set the IPL scene on fire. He wasn't there. He was dropped midway last season. 2020 he was making a comeback and he wasn't at his best. 2019 season, I think 2018 he didn't play. 2019 was a good season. So you'd want someone like Warner to be back at his best after 2 seasons, and hopefully it begins today.
Okay, so Warner definitely one to watch. We want to see him come back into form. But who's the official? Actually, my producer can tell me who's the official Rario player for DC. Who is it? Oh, it's Prithvi Shaw. Prithvi Shaw. You can own NFTs by Prithvi Shaw through Rario.com. High score in the league came against Kolkata. That's got to feel good. Gurkir?
Yeah, I mean, for him, all these grounds are also home venues. He's grown up on these venues. He knows the bounce and the pace of these pitches. And you saw how he was playing in the last game when the entire batting lineup was struggling. He scored, I think, he scored at a run rate of 10 or of nearly 10 when the team scored a run rate at a run rate of 7.5. That tells you how good he was looking on a relatively slow surface. So I expect him to give a good start even here today on a pitch which is probably going to be quicker and bouncier, where he can bring in his, the cuts and the pulls, something which he's very good at, just like Shubman Gill. So hopefully it's a good day for him also. And he put in a very good performance against KKR back in 2020 also, when they were playing in Sharjah. So he's done well against KKR.
All right. The pitch is quicker and bouncier. That is much like my Bhangra moves as well. Just so you know, we're back to the Bhangra again. I've been referred to as being quicker and bouncier than other Bhangra people. Just saying, if you want to picture me dancing, you can go for that. We're going to come back to your fighting talk in just a moment, KKR and DC. But the other game today, the later game today, I love these double game days. Do you watch the whole day of cricket, Supriya, or would you watch just your team play later on?
See, it depends. If I'm free, then I watch both the games. But otherwise, if I'm busy, then like the team like which I'm supporting, so I prefer watching that. But mostly, like I try to watch both the games. And today, so it's KKR versus DC, and KKR is like my second priority after Lucknow. So I'm going to watch both the matches.
But don't you feel like you're stalking an ex-boyfriend's Facebook profile by watching KKR? Does it not feel like, oh, why am I?
Tommy, Facebook is for people. No, Tommy, Facebook is for old people like you, not for us.
Okay, sorry.
We resort to Instagram.
Yeah, we talk on Instagram. That's true.
Right. Listen, whatever weapon you choose to stalk, it doesn't matter. It was the analogy. I'm sure you don't stalk anyone, Supriya. My point is, how does it feel watching KKR play now that you're a new Lucknow fan? Why are you still looking over the fence at what they're doing from your past?
See, I'll tell you, KKR I liked, and Gautam Gambhir was my favorite player. So now he's like come to LSG. So it's like supporting LSG is like getting the best of both worlds, something like that for me. So of course, like LSG is first choice, but I enjoy watching KKR matches also. And like it is a little conflicting, like abhi tak it's not such a big deal. But jab KKR versus LSG match aega, then it'll be more confusing for me whom to support. But for now, like whichever KKR match is there, like I'll definitely support them.
Lovely. And Amanda, by the way, I've just seen your comment. Thank you, Amanda, for recognizing that. Amanda's going, Tommy's Instagram got hacked. It did a few weeks ago. So I do prefer Facebook because of that reason. I got all these messages sent to everyone. Everyone going, you just sent me this message. I'm like, no, it's not me. It's a hack. So yeah, you're right. Okay, so you do like that. Let's talk about Lucknow. Lucknow and Rajasthan Royals. This is great because this is 4th versus 5th in the table. That already feels like, one team's going to establish themselves, one team's going to maybe pop themselves up a bit as serious contenders. I do think there's a different kind of pressure on a new team to the league, like with Gujarat Titans, who are flying at the moment. Lucknow have that new pressure team, but they also have that new pressure freshness. There's no history. Actually,
Yeah.
Dinesh, let's start with you then. Yeah, sorry. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Dinesh, how do you feel playing a team like Lucknow that we don't know too much about? This is kind of, or can you understand the team based on the players that make them up?
That's the biggest challenge for the Lucknow Super Giants or Gujarat Titans, that I would say, because being a new team, I think it's really challenging to understand the dynamics of the team, what the strengths and what the weaknesses are. You just cannot say that these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses just after 3 or 4 matches being concluded. What you can actually conclude, or what you can actually talk of a fact, is something that happens after a season where you play 13 or 14 matches, or maybe playoffs. You just get to know, okay, these are the strengths, these were the different weaknesses that actually hampered our chances. But Lucknow Super Giants don't have that edge over Rajasthan Royals or any other team that's playing from the last season. Lucknow Super Giants, Lucknow, not just Lucknow Super Giants, but Gujarat Titans, I think need to understand and analyze a bit more rather than just winning the games. They just need to understand what their weaknesses are or what their strengths are. So talking about Lucknow Super Giants advantages or the pros, they have nothing to lose. Since this is their first season, all they can think about is just to make a strong point and announce their arrival of a new team to this IPL arena. So having nothing to lose, all they can aim is just to keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. And once you keep doing that, you will just get to know a proper analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of the team. And a few defeats in between will actually make you think hard about what went wrong. So Lucknow Super Giants, I think it couldn't be a disadvantage. It couldn't be a pros alone, or it couldn't be a cons alone for Lucknow Super Giants. It's a mixture of both, and it's up to the team how they manage between both of these. You have had players who had been part of many teams, but it's the very first time that they are going to play together. So it's going to be a very tricky challenge where they just need to manage both of these things, to play a fearless cricket and also to understand, analyze the strength and weakness of themselves. So if they're going to manage these two, they're going to be a successful team, I feel.
But Dinesh, for IPL, don't you think all teams should be playing with that kind of fearlessness? That approach is IPL. You can't think about the last ball or even the next over. It's right now. The game is so now.
Can I come in and say
Yeah,
something?
yes, yeah. Please go, Chris. Yeah, of course.
I don't think Rajasthan Royals can afford to play fearlessly, especially when they're batting first. Not when they have Ravichandran Ashwin batting at 7 and an untested youngster in Rian Parag at number 6. I thought last match they made a mistake. They probably needed to promote someone like Hitmeyer at number 4 and then have Samson at 5, because Samson's record against Hasranga is not great. And then Hitmeyer being a lefty would have helped him deal with the threat of Hasranga, because what happened at that point of time was, one, they lost a wicket, and then Hetmeyer had to bat with with the fear of no batting at all once he was dismissed, which meant that Hetmeyer had to go slow for his first 20-25 balls. It was only, and that happened with Butler also. You rarely see, even on the toughest of the pitches, that Butler's 43 or 40. It's another thing, he was able to accelerate, but I did feel that Rajasthan had to leave out some runs out there because there was no batting depth. And I think what they could do is, they could change entry points of Samson and Hetmeyer depending upon the matchups. And then if there's a possibility, or if there's still a third wicket falling uh, before the 13th or the 14th over, they are probably better off sending someone like Rian Parag to bat with freedom and give him the security that there's a Hetmeyer to follow. Because if you are sending in Hetmeyer at number 5 with only Rian Parag and Ashwin and others to follow, there is no way Hetmeyer is going to bat fearlessly, or for that matter, even Butler to bat fearlessly. This is a problem that RR have had because of the auction that they had. Because you also have to look at the option. Nathan Coulter-Nile is ruled out. I don't understand why they are not trusting Jimmy Neesham at 7, because whosoever they play, Navdeep Saini is also not working out for them. They are going to either have a problem of the fifth bowler or having a problem of no batting at number 7. I'd say that, having a batter at number 7 at least liberates their top 5 or top 6 to bat a little more fearlessly and post up total which is maybe 10 or 15 runs more than par. Because what they are doing right now is they are hoping that, the end overs acceleration allows them to score those extra runs, and then maybe Navdeep Saini can chip in with a good spell, which is at present not going to happen on most days, and it is going to get even more difficult as the IPL progresses, because the pitches are going to get slower, and when the pitches are going to get slower, the stroke making is anyway going to get difficult. So maybe you need to bring another spinner to take advantage of that and make, because this is something which is not going to be sustainable, especially if RR keep losing the toss and keep batting first.
Okay, that's a good point. So, Supriya, how do you take advantage of I was trying to bring Supriya in for a minute. How do you take advantage of that as a new side? You're hearing the kind of potential weaknesses in the team or areas for improvement for Rajasthan Royals. That depth of batting, as Gurkha put it. What do Lucknow do there?
See, I feel like he said that we don't have anything to lose, but we need to establish ourselves also. Like we don't have a fan base right now, so like CSK, MI, RCB, like they have their reputation. So we also need to put across like our mindset or our like mentality, so that at least we get fans, or like people know us by something. So I feel with Rajasthan, I think their one problem is Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's opening, but he's not being able to perform. You've got Devdutt Padikkal coming at number 3, and who's like a fantastic opener. So why is like just rather get Devdutt Padikkal to open, because he's sitting there, he's waiting for his chance. And I think even in their bowlers, they've got like 4 quality bowlers in their 2 spinners, Chehel, Ashwin, and then they got Prasidh Krishna and Bolt. But their fifth bowling option, like it's always like something we can exploit. Either you have Rian Parag or you have Navdeep Saini, and both of them like, they tend to go for runs. Sometimes even Prasidh Krishna leaks runs. So I think their bowling is a bit weak, and from their batting is strong. But if we get like Butler or Hetmeyer out after that, and Samson, so I think after that, like they don't have a lot of depth in batting.
Okay, but you guys are on a roll. Let's talk about you. Okay, Lucknow, you're on a roll at the moment. It's the last 3 games are all wins. That momentum for a new side again has got to play a nice part. And how does it make you feel as a fan, knowing that hello, yeah, we are new, we don't have a fan base, we don't have a history, but look at us, boom, boom. It's coming together.
Yeah, and even seeing from Gujarat Titans perspective, like they have won 3 matches. They won all their matches. So I think it's pretty nice. And even in our first match, which was against Gujarat, we could have won. I think it was like some sort of miscalculation or misjudgment on the part of KL Rahul, because 16th over, Deepak Huda bowled and he got smacked. He went for I think 20-22 runs. So after that, he gave the ball to Ravi Bishnoi when Avesh Khan and Dushmanta Chamira were doing so well for you. Both of them had 2 overs left. So 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, those two could have bowled. But he went for Ravi Bishnoi. Ravi Bishnoi also got smacked. And then it ended up happening that Chamira ended up bowling 1 over less. So maybe if he would have done that properly, we could have won that game also. Because I thought till the end, like we were pretty much in the game. So I think, and like losing that game, but after that we won all our games. It's been pretty nice, because in all the games, like different people have stepped up. So once Avesh Khan is coming, he's bowling really well. Jason Holder in one match against CSK, like Evan Lewis performed brilliantly. You got Quinton de Kock. So I think our whole team looks settled. They're merging very well. Ayush Badoni, he's like been such a find for us. He comes in at whatever number, even if he comes earlier, his temperament is nice, and he'll play. He came in at the end. He played only 3 balls in the last match, and then he hit a 4, he hit a 6, and then like we won. So whenever he comes, you have that thing that he's there. And right now I think Marcus Stoinis, he should be available for today's match as well. So if he comes in, we could probably like leave out Evan Lewis, or leave out Andrew Ty. It'll be a little tough.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. But like Marcus Stoinis is such a player, he can come in, he can bat, he can bowl for you. So I think I think we should
Marcus
win today's match also.
Marcus Stoinis' bowling is not reliable. I think if Marcus Stoinis comes in, he'll either be coming uh, at the expense of Evan Lewis or Quinton de Kock, because Rahul can keep. But there's no way he's replacing Andrew Ty, because Marcus Stoinis is not a 4 overs bowler.
Okay.
This I'm ready to give it in writing as a DC fan, because after one season Delhi, in the one season that he took 15 wickets for Delhi, he was mostly bowling two to on average he was bowling 2.5 overs. He was not bowling 4 overs, And in 2021, on Indian pitches where there was no grip, when the IPL was just happening, when Delhi were playing their games in Mumbai, he was going for runs with the ball. So he's not a 4 overs bowler for sure.
See, we don't need 4 overs bowlers. Like we have enough bowlers. Like we've got like 7, 8 bowlers. I'm just saying, like, to give us an extra option. Like, he can come in at 3 at the place of Evan Lewis. He can bat. And, if by chance, your other bowlers are going for runs, so he can come in and give you 1 or 2 overs. I know he
On
won't get 4 overs. We've
on
got,
these pitches, if your main bowlers are going for runs, it is it's hard to expect him to do well. He might be able to give an over, but if he's able to slip in an over, you can expect the other teams to go after him in the second or the third over. And Andrew Tye is bowling an over or two at death. You can't trust Marcus Stoinis at death, because last IPL when Delhi did that, he was smoked for 26 runs by AB de Villiers in Ahmedabad, which was a much slower pitch. And he was taken for 15 runs in 1 over by someone like David Miller as well in Mumbai itself. So I don't see, if Marcus Stoinis comes in, I don't see him coming at the place of Andrew Tye. If that happens, then I'd say it's a tactical mistake.
All right, look at this. I love it. It's like we got two CEOs going up against each other. It's Dinesh. Hold on, just before I come to Dinesh, let me just read out some of these messages, because I'm seeing all the messages coming in. Firstly, from Human, who goes, Tommy Baji, don't tell me you're not a fan of Punjab. I am a fan of the game, okay? I'm here as a professional, middle ground, neutral, celebrating the teams that are playing today, number one. And you should know that, Human. And he goes, we should have a bit of a Desi karaoke thing going on. You're right, we should. We'll have a big sing-song at the end for the winning sides as well. We'll get down to that towards the end of the season as well. And hello to Vranatha as well. She said, Tommy Paji, can you gift the third umpire a pair of glasses, please? There you go. Of course I can. I can get some Annika going that way. Dinesh, let's come back to you. Rajasthan Royals. Okay. What does it take to take the winning form out of Lucknow Super Giants? What have you got to do today? What's the Royals got to do?
Just stick to the basics and stick to the plans, because that's how things have worked for Rajasthan Royals so far. Ignore the last match where Dinesh Karthik's heroics actually stole the game, I would say. Just take away Dinesh Karthik's innings, the match was completely in the pocket of Rajasthan Royals. That's what I would say. I agree to the point that Rajasthan Royals don't have the batting depth. I totally agree to that. There's no denial of that. But the biggest advantage, or the biggest pro I would say about this, is even the Royals batsmen are pretty much aware of this fact. And that is the reason why you see someone like a Josh Butler holding his bat till the very end, till 19th over, 20th over. We have seen that happen in the last couple of matches where he went on batting till the 19th over or 20th over. And we have seen 100 from him, and we have seen a 70 plus runs from him in the last couple of matches. So there might be shortcomings in your team, that there might be some disadvantages in your team, but how you become aware of that and how you overcome that is going to be a game-changing decision, where Rajasthan Royals have managed to do that. They are pretty well sure that they cannot afford to lose wicket just by the fearless batting that you told. I totally agree with what Gurkirat has actually told. You cannot afford a fearless cricket when it comes to Rajasthan Royals, because they don't have that batting depth. But instead, these batsmen, Josh Butler or Hetmeyer, they made sure that they have to see through the batting till the 20th over, and they have managed to do that. So when you have something like this, where the batsmen are taking the responsibilities on their shoulders to come up and to patch up the weaknesses they have in the form of absence of batting depth, I think that is what you need to keep doing. And I totally agree with the other point made as well. We don't have a proper specialist fifth bowler, but 16 good overs mean 80% of the job being done very well. And when you're able to do that 80% of the job, that is 16 overs very well, we know what could happen. We have seen that in the first two matches, where the 16 overs have been good enough, and we were good enough to pick wickets in those 16 overs, and forget about the fifth bowling option. So if we are able to manage the resources, if you're able to capitalize and cash in the resources that we have in terms of batting and in terms of bowling, I think it's pretty much what you can do. It's pretty much what is required to win a match.
Okay, right. We've heard it all now. We've had lots of discussion. Okay, this is a good show. There's been lots of meat, lots of veg, lots of rice, lots of roti, lots of everything in this one. So what I'm going to get into fighting talk in just a moment. But just to remind you, this is how you must sign up to Rario.com right now. Look at this video. This is how easy it is. It takes 60 seconds, and if you do this, what I'm about to show you right now, you'll get a free NFT today. That is a free digital moment in cricket. All you got to do is go to Rario.com and do this.
It's so easy. You type in your email address first of all. This is it. This is step one. Email address. You can all do that. And then once you've filled that one in, you go down to the line below and you type in your username. I'm going with Big Tom. And then you put in your password. Make this unique to yourself, something that you're going to remember. And you have officially got yourself into the site. Then, of course, you've got to make sure you're not a robot by typing in the code. You hit submit. You wait for the email to come into your inbox and you confirm it. That's it.
That's it. That's all you got to do. 60 seconds. That's all it takes. And in fact, 60 seconds is what we've got of fighting talk between each side here. Two teams going at it for 30 seconds each. We'll kick off with our first game of the day, which is, of course, KKR versus DC. Nikhil, are you still awake? You still there? I hope you've been stretching. Nikhil, I know you stayed quiet, but I don't want you to pull a muscle and go out onto the pitch cold into fighting talk.
Tommy, it's just the silence before the storm.
It's just building up. It's like a little cyclone there on his own. Okay, then, right, as he's storming it out, he's about to let rip. I'm going to let you go first then. KKR, top of the table. Your 30 seconds against DC's fighting talk. Gurkirat is next. Your 30 seconds, Nikhil, starts now.
So the game is against Delhi Capitals. More precisely, it's going to be Shreyas Iyer versus the Delhi Capitals. Umesh is on a roll. Cummins is on a roll. Russell is on a roll. Everybody is on a roll. And वो 6 तो तुम्हें याद ही होगा दिल्ली वालों, जिसने तुम्हें फाइनल में जाने से रोका था. सो कुछ इसी अंदाज में केकेआर फिर से दिल्ली को हराने के लिए है तैयार. कोर बोलो और वो जीत वो.
Done. Remember that time, Gurkirat. Remember, they stopped you from getting into the final. That's what he said. He just said it in your face, CEO. He doesn't care that you're the boss. It's like he's handing his resignation and he's walking out of your boardroom. So over to you, Gurkirat, my CEO. Your Delhi Capitals fighting talk starts now.
Well, one match or one loss doesn't change how the franchise has performed in the last season. It's definitely been the most consistent team in the last 3 IPLs. And despite a minor blip of the last 2 losses, I don't think anything changes that. You know, Nikhil can talk about that 6 or whatever he wants to talk about, but it did still change the fact that they were lucky to qualify in the finals because of the toss and the pitches, and eventually in the finals they also lost quite badly. So I just hope that today the result reverses and eventually it's the better team which has done well at the auctions and has built a better squad goes all the way. One game here or there doesn't change anything. It's that kind of a format, and I save the big words for the celebrations after the result. I don't believe in doing anything prematurely. I've seen enough sport to not get carried away by all of this. I'll just like to say that hopefully it's a good game and the better team comes out on top.
Oh, come on. The words of a true CEO. Like, I'm not saying anything, but I think there's a quiet confidence there. So he's, the Gurkirat wants to play that tactic of, I said it before, I've said it again.
No, it's a simple thing. Sometimes when you're confident, you don't have to speak about it loud. Yeah, just the game and the content and the, what do you call it? I'm forgetting that word, but the content itself does the talking. The substance is there to do the talking. If you have that, words are not needed.
You got the inner confidence. He's got the inner confidence. That's what it is. It's there.
And Tommy, now after having everything, it's time to have some rasgullas. I'll have it after the match in order to celebrate our victory.
He's getting it ready already. Okay, good. Stay right there. Your fighting talk done. On to the second match of the day and the fighting talk between Rajasthan Royals versus Lucknow Super Giants. Dinesh, I'm going to get you up first. Your 30 seconds for Rajasthan Royals. This is 5th place versus 4th place. 5th goes first. Let's hear what you got to say. Your time starts now.
Well, you're going to talk about, if you're going to talk about the batting depth and the absence of batting depth, I'm going to say that we are going to keep it very shallow. We are not just going to dig deep. We are not going to bat deep. We are just going to keep it very shallow and win it very shallow. So you just don't need to, nobody just need to worry about the absence of batting depth. And when you're talking about the absence of fifth bowler, I think 16 good overs can be good enough to pick all the 10 wickets. And tell you what, we are going to help the Lucknow Super Giants, not like other teams by gifting away the victories, but we are going to give the valuable lessons and experience of how it feels like when you're losing. We have got many in the seasons previously, and we are going to give you that valuable lesson and experience of how it feels to be on a losing side. Though many teams can give you a winning streak, we are not just going to give you that. We are going to help you by giving you a valuable lesson.
There you go. He's going to educate Lucknow. They're new to the game. He goes, let me sit down, my butcher. Right? Master G Dinesh is in the house and he's going to teach you a little lesson or two. Plus, he said there's no need to go to the deep end. We're going to stay in the shallow end and splash around because that's what it's like playing with Lucknow, the little butcher in the shallow end. That's kind of like what he just said. I think I deciphered that right. Over to you, Supriya. Don't hold back now. You're new to the game. Let's show them what you've got. I think this is a future CEO in the making. Supriya, your 30 seconds starts now.
Whenever everyone talks about Lucknow, they think that, it's our mentality, pehle aap. So we are very sweet and everything. But you know what? This time, ab apni bari hai. So, you cannot expect that, we'll keep saying pehle aap. And what you said about teaching us a lesson, I mean, theek hai, kisi aur se seekh lenge, it's okay. And I mean, you have that experience. I mean, Rajasthan has not been such a successful franchise. So I think, have you learned from your lessons? I mean, I don't know about that, but I think we'll continue our winning streak. And you said that 16 good overs is good enough. But you never know, it can be an off day for anyone. Prasidh Krishna could go for runs, Trent Bolt could go for runs. So, you're not sure whether you'll get those 16 good overs. You always need a fifth or a sixth bowling option. You can't say that there's no need for that. So, and yeah, and your batting, we have like, you have 5-6, you said that, they'll bat deep or whatever. I mean, you won't even realize if their wickets go, then we'll see how you're batting.
Okay, done. We will see. She's ready. Look at that. It's like Supriya took every point that Dinesh said, just smacked it backward. And pow, and this, and you said this, and pow, you chop gun, and you go back to your house, all right? So it's great. This is great. This is what it's all about. It's a fierce league. It's a wonderful league. But as always, we do the fighting talk, but I know these guys all love each other. I know there's an all-round love for the game, and this is all just banter. It's nothing personal. So everyone who wants to get involved in the team talk, feel free to, but it is all love. Is it not, guys? Are we not feeling the love, please? Yes? Yes.
Well, you look like a boxing umpire where you just crash punches from between. And at the end, you just lift the hands.
Yeah, and at the end, I want you to know that, it's all for the love of the game, really, that we're doing it, and for the excitement of the game, for the excitement of the league. But actually, you all played fairly, you all played well, so that's good. I'm a happy umpire right now. Thank you, as always, for your time, Supriya. Welcome to the show. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your first time on it. And Nikhil and Dinesh and Gurkiran, brilliant as always. Great information. And a good show today, a longer show than normal. Thank you for sticking with us. Thanks for all the comments. That's Varnatha, that's Human, that's... lots of you. I'm scrolling through all of these. The Rajasthan Royals fans as well, to Omkar, to Abhijit, to Akshat, to Amanda, and many more. We love your comments. This is the Fan Show, by the fans, for the fans, with me, Tommy Sandhu from Fan Doosra, and a massive thank you to Rario.com as well. Go to Rario right now, register your details, get a free NFT today. Enjoy the double games today, guys. Intro soon. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye, everybody.